Christina, welcome to the Orgasmic Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you so much for taking part in this interview today. I'm very happy to have you here. For those who are unfamiliar with your work, could you tell us what you do?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am a celebrity makeup artist. I am the creator and founder of Pretty Girl Makeup, and I'm starting a new company called I'm Too Busy.
Oh,
I'm a beauty expert on California Live on NBC. I am a mother of five. I'm a philanthropist. I am a beauty producer for a movie that just came out, and
and you're
I
definitely
think
too
that's it.
busy. I can
And I
see.
am too busy.
Tell us what's I am too busy.
So I created Pretty Girl, and it was just my company that I started, and then I decided that I'd been hearing so many times from my clients that I don't have enough time to do my makeup. Every time I go to a department store, they don't have enough. Can we pause 1 second?
Yeah.
My puppy is, come here. Come on. Forgive. I'm in my sister's attic right now. Okay. So sorry. I created I'm Too Busy because I had heard from so many of my clients. They don't have enough time to get ready in the morning. There are too many products. And what exactly are the products that they need? And I just felt like, how can you ever get brand loyalty from customers when you're selling them things that they don't need for their lifestyle, don't know how to use, and they don't use them? So they're not going to be replenishing, right? So, like with the skincare, there's so many brands out there and they're amazing if you consistently use them. But if you're not using them because there's too many steps, they're not going to work.
It's kind of like it's gone silent a bit again. So yes, it's not it's even yeah, so it's kind of like a minimalist beauty plan, is that correct? Something like that about just the products you need and
So I came up with me three-step skincare. It's moisturizing, cleansing, and rejuvenating. And then we have the makeup that is just for what you need. It's a foundation stick that you can use as concealer, primer, and foundation. A cheek stick that you can use for lip and cheek, and then fill in the brows, eyeshadows, mascara, and eyeliner, and lip products. So that's it. I just want people to be able to, in 5 minutes, be able to put some makeup on and feel, confident to be able to go out into the world.
great, perfect. So what inspired you to follow this path in the first place, the beauty path?
I started working on my mom and my friends and family, and it just was something that I loved watching the transformation of making someone look like a better version of themselves. And it wasn't so much, obviously, the visual I loved doing, but I also loved how they felt. And even to this day, when I work with my clients, I love how it makes them feel on the outside by changing what they look on the outside.
What do you notice, like how they walk, how they talk, or what do you notice?
It's everything. Their whole energy changes. They are more confident. They seem happier. They just feel they have a confidence that they didn't have. I worked with a teenager last year named Ivy, and I just taught her some basic, makeup tips. And we just talked about, going for your dreams and beauty from the inside out, because I believe in that. It's about nutrition and exercise and skincare and rest and happiness and, being grateful. All those things make someone look beautiful on the outside when all these things are happening on the inside. Make sure you're hydrated. But an example of Ivy, after we had our session together, 2 weeks later, she called me and said, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe what happened. You told me I should strive for my dreams, and I applied to a study abroad program, and I got it. So I'm going to Prague for 2 weeks." And she said, "If I hadn't met you and done this, I would never felt confident enough to take these steps of being comfortable being uncomfortable."
Amazing. So you're helping people with their self-belief through makeup. Would that be right to assume?
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yes.
Great. So how did you take it into a professional realm then? Because you were doing it with your mother, and then what inspired you to, how did you start professionally?
People would ask me to do their makeup for weddings, and I would do they then they would refer me other people, and then I worked with different photographers. Um, I got enough pictures together to have a portfolio for Chicago, LA, San Francisco. I'm also with Zenobia and Brandy Moore artists. So I work a lot with different celebrities, and I love what I do. It's so much fun. I like to be in a new place. I love, working with a team and creating beautiful things. So it's a perfect job. And then on days I'm not on a shoot, I'm working on my company and doing podcasts.
Fantastic. So tell us about your makeup brand.
Well, Pretty Girl is right now, we're just having lips because we're just kind of putting that on hold a bit. And so the makeup line, we're just doing exactly what you need to look like the best version of you. Brows need to be filled in, dark circles need to be lightened, even out the skin, a little cheek color, filling in with the brows with some shadow, eyeshadow, liner, mascara, and that's it. And that's all you really need. And so I use colors that are neutral tones that will look good on all different skin tones. So I want everyone to be able to pick up my shadows and go, okay, they're user friendly.
And when did you create this brand?
This year. We haven't released everything yet, but that's what we're doing right now.
Oh, it's super new. So the Pretty Girl makeup is actually also
Yes.
very, very new. Okay. So you're
No,
doing
well,
two. Okay.
Pretty girl makeup I've had for like 20 years now. And
Okay.
so I'm too busy as my new brand.
Fantastic. So what's the process like of creating your own brand? Was it something you always wanted to do? Was it a natural progression? How did it occur?
I think it was just a natural progression. I just wanted to be able to, I saw that there was a need. And I think that's what happens with a lot of entrepreneurs. They see there's a need in the world or a need in their own life. And so I just wanted there to be some makeup that is straightforward and that everyone can use quickly and efficiently.
So what was your first product?
Lip plumper and lip gloss. And then,
Okay.
yeah, and then I've had different spa products and bath bombs and candles and eyeshadows and lipsticks. So I've had the whole thing. I've just shrunk it down a bit right now. I'm also, what's keeping me busy as well is I'm on NBC as a beauty expert on California Live. So I do that between 2 and 4 times a month. This past week we did an episode for fall using pumpkin for masks and for scrubs for the skin, doing a water spa bar to get people to drink more water. I hear all the time, I don't like drinking water. It's so boring. It doesn't taste good. So I was showing how to putting blueberries and mint and basil and cucumber in the water and have it ready in the fridge. I really encourage people when they go running out to do an errand that they can grab some water that's already prepared and take it in the car. So if you do that every time you get in the car, you'll drink a lot of water in the day.
Definitely. I'm a vegan, so I was really thrilled to see that your makeup is vegan and organic. Is that right? Is that correct?
Yes, yes,
Could
it
you
is.
tell us why is that important?
I think it's important because, our skin is a biggest cell that we have in our body. And so we have to protect it. So you want to put healthy things on your skin because it's getting ingested into your system. So it is very important. So that's my main reason.
So what's I'm fascinated by the process of creating a product and going through the different prototypes. What was that like for you? Because it's, if you're putting your name to something, it could be quite
It
complicated sometimes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it takes a lot longer than one would think.
Hmm.
Um, Working with the beauty chemist, and they send you samples and you try it on your friends and you send it back. It's significantly longer than one would think. When I started Pretty Girl, it took over a year to formulate the lip texture and color and get it out with the products in the container. So I when I tell people, like, they think, oh, it's so fun doing that, having their own brand, it takes a lot longer and a lot more money. So if you're going into it just for the money, um, you're going to start resenting it. So you really have to enjoy every step of the process, because it is time consuming and frustrating, and taking a lot longer than one would think.
So as a makeup artist, what did you find that was missing that you created yourself? What was missing in the products that you were using before you created your brand?
I think that there was just too much of everything. It's almost overwhelming for people. I mean, even for me, I see, I look for a palette for eyeshadows, and there's just all these colors that you don't use. You end up using, like, you have a palette of 8 colors and you end up using 2 of the colors. So I really wanted all the colors in my palette to be used equally. So that's probably why.
So it's still kind of a minimalist approach. Would that be right to assume?
Yeah, yes, it is. I want people to use the products. I also wanted them to be, sustainable. I want to be able to replenish the eyeshadows back into the same case. I wanted them to be, recycled paper that we use. So I really want our company to be, a company that I can be really proud of, that we're not wasting paper products. I get so many products from different companies, and they'll put one little product in and have it wrapped in tons of tissue paper in this monstrous box. And it's so wasteful.
That's great. The sustainability is a good value to have. But do you think
Yes.
over the last 20 years that people have been wearing more and more and more makeup? Because I find that, the trends of, let's say, contouring and, fake eyelashes, and there seems to be a lot more. It's not just a 5-minute thing when people are doing makeup these days. Do you think people are wearing more and more makeup? Is that what you've observed in the time you're in this industry?
That's a great question. I think that people are using, I think it's too much. Like, I don't think the normal average woman that is getting up and getting her kids to school and going into her office or to a board meeting has time for all of the contouring and all that stuff. That's why I created I'm Too Busy, because I just think, and it's not realistic. I don't do any of that on a photo shoot. If you look at commercials, everyone looks pretty normal. You don't see tons of contouring on any of the people on TV or in the commercials and magazines. You see people looking pretty normal. And so that's what I do as a makeup artist. There's no time for all of, I mean, it's very entertaining to look on TikTok and Instagram at how they, put on all this makeup and blend, but it's not realistic as a makeup artist for what I do on photo shoots. I would never have the time. I mean, I sometimes have 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get someone completely ready. So.
Oh, wow. That's not much time then. So what products would you recommend for someone who's busy?
Definitely, good eye cream, moisturizer, sunscreen for sure. Concealer is super important under the eyes and on the eyelid, filling in the brows, changing your mascara every 2 to 3 months. And just keeping it simple and basic. You don't want to look at anyone's face and think, oh, wow, there's a lot of colors going on. You just want to think like how I'm looking at you right now. Your skin looks nice and fresh. Your eyebrows are done. You look pretty and normal, and nothing is sticking out at me going, oh, wow.
This is actually quite natural because
there.
it's here in Spain. I'm in Barcelona. It's 9:30 at night, so I haven't had my makeup on since it's been on, maybe 10 hours.
Oh my God. Well, you look fantastic.
Oh, thank you. But I have a bit of a redness going on at the moment as well. But I'm a super minimalist because I used to be like most people, wearing makeup every single day. And then I started working from home, and I started wearing less makeup, or just not even wearing makeup at all. And it was interesting because I started to get used to seeing my makeup-free face in the mirror and being more accepting of it. Because I remember before that time, I would only go makeup-free at the weekend sometimes. Now, I remember I went to the supermarket once and I saw a guy I knew, and I was so ashamed. And I remember like trying to hide because I didn't want to look him, because I think our, body language does change a lot if we're wearing makeup or not, if you're used to wearing it every day, like your mask. But I found it very empowering to actually stop for a while and just have it on certain days. Like, for example, today I had a webinar earlier today, so that's why I have makeup on today, and also with my podcast interviews. But normally I would kind of go makeup free a lot of the time. So what do you think about do you think there could be a danger to get too reliant on makeup?
It's so interesting that you say that. We did a segment on NBC called Getting it was a beauty challenge. And what it was for the people that wear a ton of makeup to take it down like 10
Wow.
notches. And for the people that wear very little, take it up a few notches and get comfortable being uncomfortable. And why are you uncomfortable? What's uncomfortable? Having your face so bare that made you uncomfortable. So I urge people, just take a few minutes to see how you feel about whatever it is you're doing. Do the opposite and see how you feel, and what you need to do to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's interesting because over the years I've just done the same thing, like eyeliner on, because it changed my eye a lot when I was just doing on the top and not below, and kind of
Uh-huh.
like it makes the eye look bigger, and my eyebrows are very very light, so I kind of struggle with that. But I'm a very minimalist. I just have one product, like one one foundation, and then one eyeliner. But I just put a shadow on just to kind of make the eyeliner set a bit better, because otherwise it will kind of go all over the eyelid. And then
Yes.
mascara, and it's interesting you say that about to change every 3 months, because I think no one does it. But I think
No, they have
it's when,
mascara for like years, like 10
yeah,
years. It's like, I'm like, it dries out after a few months. So if you want the mascara, and there are so many great mascaras now that you can buy at the supermarket or at the,
mm.
the pharmacies. They're great. So just change them up, get a new one.
We also think about eye health. I'm sure it's not very good to have.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
No, it is not, because you're taking it out, it's getting germs in, and bacteria. So it's very unsanitary. So definitely changing it out is a good thing to do.
Yeah, I've actually done a lot of commercial acting, and I've been on set many times. I have my makeup artists do my makeup, and I've always wondered, are the brushes clean? What do they do? Because
Well,
that's
yeah,
a big question for me. Because I just think, oh, it looks fantastic, but how much DNA do I have on my face right now?
I'm sure that they clean them just like I do. I mean, in between, I have alcohol and antibacterial and makeup wipes that I clean when I'm on set, and then when I get home, I clean them with disinfectant and brush cleanser. So
Yeah.
I'm sure the makeup artist you worked with had very clean brush. You have to. You would never work again because everyone would be getting these diseases. So
I think in Spain it's probably a bit more relaxed. But I remember I was on this shoot in August, but it was very, very hot. And they were going around with the powder with the same thing on everyone. And I was just like, oh my God.
okay, well, I don't do that, but
That's good.
yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely don't do that. Well, I have a powder brush for each person that I'm working with, but
Amazing. That's good, good.
yeah.
So tell us about your skincare tips.
Skincare tips. Well, first of all, since we're talking about mascara,
Hmm.
every day the mascara has to come off. So you
Oh
can
yeah.
use a coconut oil or an almond oil or a makeup wipe. It needs to come off every day. Your eyelashes need to breathe. I am not a big fan of these lash extensions. I think they are damaging to the eyelashes. It
Well,
doesn't
tell
take
us
that long to
more.
put some mask. Well, I just think they're very heavy. I think your lashes are going to break. They'll get weak.
Hmm.
Um, and they look totally unnatural. I have seen some people, I am flabbergasted that they are walking around with these animals. It looks like a chia pet or something on their eyelash. It's too much. So I hope that trend goes away soon. And the contouring, it's a little bit. You never want to see makeup that is that heavy.
Mm.
Um, you don't want to see that. It's just supposed to kind of blend in. For example, foundation. I get asked this all the time. How do I pick my right foundation? Do I put it on my inner arm, on top of my hand? And I just laugh because it's like, no, you need to match it to your face, first of all.
Mm.
And number two, you don't want it lighter and you don't want it darker. You want it to disappear into your skin.
Mm.
So that's how you find the right foundation for you. The right one, you won't see it. It'll just blend into your skin.
Amazing. That's really interesting, because I'm always another. I've really hated those fake eyelashes. I mean, I used to like them maybe 10 years ago when I was kind of doing more a pin-up look or burlesque look, and just the ones that you kind of, glue on and then you take off.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But there's now a trend of, those permanent ones, and it just looks really, really bad. And I just think it's can't be,
Yeah.
because once you start doing like fake things, you're kind of ruining your own eyelashes, I think.
You definitely
Mm.
are. And also, you know, I love to put on face oil, and you
Mm.
cannot have any oil on your face if you're going to have those lashes on. They fall off. So it's not something that works for my everyday life. So, we were talking earlier about like makeup products. Well, that's a product for me, a fake eyelash that just won't work because it doesn't work with my lifestyle. My lifestyle is washing my face and using facial oils and different products so my face breathes and rejuvenates and rests. And so that doesn't work. I mean, I've done it, believe me. I tried it and it was great for a while, but then also I would sleep and then they would fall out and then
Oh.
it was just, I was constantly me running back to the lash lady. And I think she was happy when I finally decided to abandon the lashes.
So it would be your go-to makeup look then? You like today you look quite natural. Is this how you do the same thing every day, or does it depend on?
I mean, I'll do my eyes a little darker. I usually do a pretty nude lip. I balance out the skin under eye. I always fill in my brows. I always have liner top and bottom. I'll put a shadow on top of the liner so it softens.
Mhm.
And then lots of mascara and a little bit of cheek and some lip, and that's it. I can do my makeup in 5 minutes, no problem.
Okay, cool. So what would you do to me if you were doing my makeup? Just out of curiosity.
Exactly the same thing. I'd fill in your brows.
Mhm.
I would do a light shadow on the whole area of your eyelid and under your brow, and then a liner on the top and smudge it in on the bottom and some mascara and just make your cheeks a little rosy and even.
Mhm.
And that's it.
So about lipstick, do you have any preferred colors? I'm doing red is a kind of a when you're in a mood for,
Yes. Well,
assertiveness. It's quite good.
everyone has their right red, you know. I don't
Mm.
I've been really doing a lot of pale pinks lately and just a gloss on top. I've been doing a lot. But you know, it gets to be dark in winter and then we want to do a like a beautiful Chanel red lip. So
Mhm.
that's the fun part of makeup. It's not permanent. You put it on, you take it off, and you can be
Mhm.
someone else for a few minutes.
Is there someone you would like to do their makeup? Anyone famous or anyone that you'd really love to change their style or do their
I
makeup?
mean, I always want to do like a Halle Berry.
Uh,
There's so many celebrities I would love to work on. I mean, all the faces I work on, I love transforming them. So it's fun. And all my clients I work with, I really enjoy working with them and getting them to feel good and to get on stage. Last weekend, my client Tyler Florence, he's a celebrity chef. We were filming a show last Saturday in Sacramento, California. It was farm to fork, and it was very fun. There were thousands of people around, and so I had to keep him looking fresh and not shiny, and so it's fun. I'm always somewhere different, that's for sure.
so that's kind of like the no makeup look, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Do you have any tips
yes.
for
On the
that?
men,
Mhm.
it's the same thing. It's making sure their skin is moisturized, not too greasy, and some concealer underneath the eye on the eyelid, and make sure that they're powdered. But that's for TV.
Mhm. So
And they
do you
have
not use
like a lip
powder
balm.
normally?
Yeah, I have make sure they have lip balm on, and
Mm.
then they're making sure that their skin is they need lotion on their hands, their legs, or their arms if they're exposed to the sunlight.
Great. A few quick questions for you. What is the book that changed your life?
Oh my gosh, I am a total nerd book reader.
Oh,
The
really?
Alchemist.
Oh,
Yes,
really? I've not read that.
I love. Oh, it's fantastic,
And what
fantastic.
how did it impact you?
It's just people's journeys. Everyone has a journey, and sometimes you have to let people go on their journey, and then they come back and they're a better version of themselves. So it's just I don't know. I get something out of every book. I couldn't tell you that there's just one particular book that I changed my life. I think all my books changed me a bit because it's you're experiencing something different. You're reading something that changes you a bit. So I think every book I read gives me a little bit of change.
And what are you reading at the moment?
I just finished what is it called? Learning chemistry.
And what is that? What is it
Um,
about?
it's about this woman. She's a chemist, and then she got fired from her job. Her boyfriend, she got pregnant. She got fired from her job, and then went into this TV studio and ended up being like a Julia Child, but using chemistry and really changing the lives of her listeners. Like she spoke to them very intelligently and using scientific words, and her relationship with her daughter and all these different people. It was really, really good book.
So you like
I loved
fiction?
it.
You like fiction?
Yes.
Great.
I like fiction. I like historical fiction. Yeah. I read The First Ladies. That was about Eleanor Roosevelt
Mm.
and her best friend, who was an African American woman, who was the first woman president of a university in Florida. And so their relationship spanning like 30 years. And it was told from the perspective of each of the characters. One chapter would be Eleanor, and the other one would be about the other woman. And so it was so interesting, them going back and forth, to hearing the other perspective of the same situation.
Yeah, it's always fascinating to see that there's always more than one way to see things.
Yes. What's
But
your favorite book?
I think it has to be Think and Grow Rich. It's probably the one because I am a writer, so I didn't read other people's work for a long time because I didn't want to be influenced. And then when the pandemic happened, I just started reading again. I read 30 books in 2020. And in this podcast, I always review a book. So I'm reviewing books every 2 weeks. And I also read a lot of my guests' books as well. So it's really a real privilege to read a book and then interview the author. But I was just thinking, if this book can change my life, imagine how many more can. So I read nonfiction, spirituality, sacred sexuality, health, things like that. So it's quite
It's
fascinating.
exactly the same thing. Like what I love that you agree. It's the same thing. You know, you learn something from everything. I've been listening to podcasts about manifesting and not living in the past, and really how your mind controls your body and the feelings of your body. So if you have you have a difficult time with one person, your body gets used to going into that upsetted place, and how
Mm.
you can control that. So it's just very interesting. I think there's so much incredible knowledge out there in the world if you're open and ready to listen and try different things.
Definitely. And I'm just fascinated by the exchange of knowledge as well. And just because someone said that, a book for most people is decades it's a big download and you absorb it in a couple of weeks, which is quite fascinating, that transmission
That's true.
of
That's very
information.
true.
So do you have a
That's
phrase or
interesting.
affirmation that you live by?
Oh, yes. So I do a lot of affirmations. So
Oh,
I do the universe loves me. I'll do it sets of three. So the universe loves me. Then I'll do I accept and expect miracles, um, clear and release. I am spirit, pure and innocent. All is forgiven, all is released. And then I do this one a lot. I am successful. I'm grounded. I'm determined. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm loved. I'm grateful. And I am wealthy.
I
Say it
love it.
over and over. Yes.
So actually, finished the episodes. Every episode has an affirmation meditation in this podcast, and I whisper them. So I have one in one ear, one in the other. So I'll probably do a beauty theme with you because I always match the
Oh,
affirmations with
I
the
love that.
guest. Yeah, I've got so many affirmation tracks now. It's interesting. The last one was follow your dream affirmations, which was quite cool. So I'm really into affirmations as well. I just love how it's consensual brainwashing. That's how I
Absolutely. It is.
yeah,
It absolutely is. That's
definitely.
fantastic. I think they're good. I think they're all good things. And you can control your mind is very powerful. So if you keep telling yourself, I'm in a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood, your body thinks you want to be in a bad mood. So you have to just stop that. You have to catch yourself of, you know, you're going to let something that happened 5 days ago, you're going to continue holding on to that. Like, it's absurd. So
Mm,
you get that feeling. It's like, no, let it go. It's done. Move on.
definitely very important to let go. And I'm really into the space of feminine manifestation now because I used to be very masculine in terms of goal oriented, like I want to have this, I want that, I want this. Whereas now I'm more about the surrender and about I allow, I am ready to receive, and being
Yes.
non-specific, which is interesting because like law of attraction, I always talk about specificity, whereas I think there's power in being non-specific sometimes and just creating the space for the right thing to come. So that's kind of where I'm at now with my
Yeah.
manifestation. It's quite
Yeah.
interesting.
I believe that. That is interesting.
So over the last 20 years, there's been this whole culture of the rise of the beauty influencer. What do you think of that?
It's so interesting how, I've been a makeup artist, and I've had my own beauty line for so long, and how it's changed. When I started, there was no such thing as beauty influencer. It was the celebrities, the stylists, the beauty editors in the magazines, and the publicists. And that was that's all you had to deal with. Now it is just so much more. And that's what you have to learn in this industry. You have to flow and you have to go with it. It's going to change all the time and you have to learn to adapt to it. Nothing's going to stay the same. I can't believe that, the magazine beauty editors were just so powerful before. And now it's the influencers. So, and that's going to change too. It might go back to the magazines again. Who knows? You just have to, be okay with whatever change is happening.
I just watched recently The Glamorous on Netflix. Did you watch that?
I haven't watched that yet. Is it good?
Yeah, I thought it was very light and breezy. It was kind of interesting to see. I love Kim Cattrall, obviously, like a lot of people. So it was interesting to see that whole makeup industry. It's a very original idea because it's kind of like got business in it and it's got makeup and it's got a lot of LGBTQ themes as well. So it was a very interesting cocktail of ideas.
I just watched on Netflix and I really enjoyed it, about living to be 100 and the blue zones all over the world.
I love it. Yeah.
Oh, fascinating. And I totally believe it. And I think it was so inspiring to see different cultures and how they live. And it's not that I want to live to be 100. It's more about feeling good. It's constant movement. It's not just sitting around. It's, doing your own housework, walking. People thought a lot of it was, no, it's my spirituality. I go to church every day. Well, actually, the people that were going to church every day, they were walking up a hill every day. So they are getting exercise. So it was a lot about movement and nutrition and joy and slowing down and not worrying about, well, not worrying certainly, but the importance of just family and laughter and time spent doing simple things. So I thought it was really inspiring.
I saw it too because I'm very interested in health, and I've interviewed a lot of nutrition experts on this channel and health experts. I interviewed Dr. Joel Fuhrman, the author of Eat to Live, and I've also
right.
Yeah, it was really interesting. So, apart from drinking lots of water that you've already mentioned, do you have any other health tips that you would like to share?
Well, I do a lot of green juice. So I have a Vitamix and I put in power greens, beet, blueberry, green apple, celery, fresh ginger and grapefruit juice. I blend that up, have that every day. And I try to kind of do intermittent fasting. I don't really eat my first meal until like noon. So I will wake up in the morning and have water, lemon, and ginger, some tea, and a green juice, and usually exercise, and then, have something to eat after 12.
That sounds good. Sounds very wholesome.
Yes.
So where can people find you?
You can find me at ChristinaFlach.com if you want to see some videos and my portfolio of my work. You can scroll down and see the different segments on NBC on California Live. PrettyGirlMakeup.com. I'm too busy.co, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, X, and I don't know, wherever else. Oh yes, TikTok.
Oh, perfect. So did you actually make up tutorials or anything like that? What do you on TikTok? Or?
I don't do that, and that's something that I am going to be doing more of. But we do on California Live. We have a lot of on ChristinaFlach.com. You can see tutorials that I've done.
Perfect.
And on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel as well.
Excellent. So you're sharing tips and you're doing people's makeup as well on YouTube.
Yes.
Great. So thank you so much for joining us today on the Orgasmic Lifestyle Podcast. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It was such a joy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.